cheap wine at the party hotel. Conversating in the shadows, sipping cappuccinos instead. The sugar violins, the sugars in the violins, the sugar violins, the sugar, the sugar violins, the sugars in the joy it brings, he needed all my strands of play, 'cause violins.
Well, as games go, it's a bit of an ugly duckling, but you've got to say it's living up to its billing. The top two sides going at it, and just 5 points the margin here at three-quarter time. Collingwood on top, 7-5 to 5-12. Let's go down to the boundary now. Tim Watson is with Geelong's Matty Lappin.
Well, Matty, it's been a great contest. You're the forward line coach. What were you saying to the players a moment ago?
Yeah, I just spoke to them about in the second quarter we were able to put 4 goals on them by getting them up the ground and then turning them around. We think there's a little bit of wind going that direction this quarter, so we're hoping to use that to our advantage and hopefully run onto a few balls over the back.
How many goals do you think you'll have to kick in this last quarter?
Probably 4 or 5, I think, mate. So it's been a really good contest, and our last quarter's been our best all year, so we're hoping we can finish off well again.
Selwood was devastating early until Thomas went on to him. He's been terrific, Thomas.
Yeah, look, he goes 100 miles an hour at the footy and the man, so he's played a really good role for the boys.
Thanks for your time.
On your Tim alongside Luke Hodge now. And Luke, real battle of defences, old-time football in many respects. Both these defences prepared to bend but not break.
Yeah, exactly right. I think that's what Chris Scott has brought to Geelong, their defensive attitude. And as you see, that's why I've had such a tussle tonight.
And Swanee got under our guard again in that term. How many possessions?
Yeah, he finished up. He had 28 up to three-quarter time after a slow start. He had 5 at quarter time.
He's amazing, isn't he? So who do you like from here?
I reckon after having the week off, I reckon Collingwood just might have the legs to get over the top.
OK, we'll hold you to that. Let's go to Bruce then for the final term on Friday Night Football. Collingwood up by 5 points.
Last quarter's Collingwood 38 goals to 14 this season, and Geelong 21 goals to 10.
Well, neither side's lost the last quarter, so they've both been strong finishing teams. As I said through the quarter a couple of times, Geelong have often had big guys on the bench, so I'll be interested whether their midfield has had enough rest to run the game out as strongly as Collingwood.
Biggest roar of the night to start the last quarter on Friday night. Went through Thomas. Chapman's toe poke. O'Brien still with Harry, pushed over, and now besieged, and then he flicks it back. Joel Corey kicks the ball to 35 metres. Heath Shaw takes a good mark.
The forward should read it off his teammates' boot better, but Heath Shaw does it better than the forwards.
Buckley's been a good contributor. No Johnson or Maxwell, of course, tonight from Collingwood. Buckley, dangerous kick. Can Ottens make a contest? He does. Johnson improvising. Scarlett's good at improvising. Drops it. Free kick.
Jordy dropped it. It's a throw. Illegal. The ball played out of zone. Lee Brown, Lee Brown, your kick. Holding the ball, played out of zone. No. Your kick.
So back to the anvil. It's had a quiet night, Brown. Kicked a goal early.
Got equal numbers forward here, Collins. Gives them a chance.
Just saw there Steve Johnson, the first set of bounce, really crash into Dale Thomas. Looked a bit proppy.
Gienright took Cloak's run there. Doesn't get it out far. Thomas not far enough. Kicks to Swan. He just builds a game, Swan. He can start slowly. We see it so often, and then just builds and builds.
Amazing stat about Dane Swan. He was at three-quarter time. He'd played 88 minutes of a possible 91. Obviously spending a lot of time forward, so just a remarkable player.
And he's got a lot of ball inside the forward 50 for Collingwood tonight. And that kick right to the goal line, and I think it's a behind before Ottens could take the mark. So Collingwood stretched their lead to a 1 kick. 7-6 to 5-12.
Is he still the engine room lead for the middle of the ground, Dane Swan, if you want to win the game?
Well, no, at the moment, I think trying to kick some goals, and he's one who looks like he might.
Great mark by the Pods. Inside to Hunt. Hunt misses the target. Stokes sweeps on it. Gives it to Corey. Bad handball. Chapman on hands and knees. Out wide to Christensen. He was a good sub. He came on and kicked a goal. Switches it wide to Scarlett. Corey short. Scarlett honours the lead. So Joel Corey from 55. Impossible to score from this pocket tonight. Your goal here is just what the Cats need. They're a goal behind. He kicks it low. Tarrant front spot. Varco couldn't quite. Buckley's been good. Well played side bottom. Gets it to Blair.
Just short of the wing. Over the top came Taylor. Knocked by Brown towards the boundary. Taylor there again, though. Slips the hand pass to Corey. Corey about 80 metres from goal. Spears it along the boundary line. Well done by Sidebottom. Stayed on his feet. Couldn't control it, though. Stokes, something out of nothing. Off the bit of Menzel on the bounce across the boundary line. Tossed in. Ottens reaches over Wood. Down goes Chapman. Umpire calls for him.
You'd love Potts to take one of those on the goal square, wouldn't you?
Yes, that's what they need. Well, he didn't. He didn't take one of those, but he had the shot from 15 metres out. They need one of their forwards to do something a bit special.
Ottens wins a tap. Corey's had a good start to this quarter. Thomas. Still Thomas. Now boundary throw in.
Thanks.
Bit of bar play there, threatened to throw the ball in his face.
You build reputations, Tom, in big matches. Varco tonight's been subdued. A big last quarter would be important for him. You feel like he's one with fresh legs that could make a difference. Ottens. Chapman high. Free kick.
High tackle. First tackle was high.
Who's the best at drawing the free, Selwood or Chapman, your former team?
Well, I mean, the cynical say they draw the free, but the one thing they have in common is they drive at the footy so hard.
Right way.
He can't score, you wouldn't think, could he, from here, Chappie?
You know, even him, he's a big, long kick of the footy. This would be special if he could actually nail this from this far out.
So Chapman steps to the 50. Kick is on the way. Has it got the carry? Not quite. Tarrant high above the pack. Fists it back across the line. Good kick, though.
Always risky business, that defensive spoil, when you go with the flight of the ball to try and punch it through. Made good contact. Good result.
Sometimes you follow it back across the line without touching it.
Exactly right.
Ball to midfield. Dick's got it now. Collingwood on the move. Two little guys combined. Three of them. Cracker got it from Blair. Open goal. Gets it on the run. Collingwood go coast to coast.
We saw Brad Dick involved in that passage of play. That was actually his first disposal since being activated as a sub. The other sub for Geelong's obviously Christensen, who's had the 4 possessions and kicked a goal. So important touch there from Brad Dick. Just the importance of absolute coast to coast. And a great finish. Just kept the ball low, I think, particularly down to the right hand side of the screen. That seems to be the best way to get it through.
All came from this attacking kick-in. When it came to the centre corridor, then all of a sudden the Geelong zone gets caught forward of the footy. Collingwood outnumbered them as long straight down the centre corridor. Great goal.
The 3 little guys at the end combining, weren't they? So Geelong with it all to do again. Corey's kick, bouncing ball, short. Chance here for Stokes. Stokes goes to ground. Can he get a handball out? Not quite. Well played. Davis just got in the road. Belts it out wide. Sidebottom and Christensen. Sidebottom did well. Buckley's been important as he was a moment ago. Gets away from Enright. Thomas, Cracker. Well tackled by Bartel. Too high. Cracker keeps up this amazing record. 109 games now for 109 goals. That single goal in this last quarter, keeping it at 1 apiece.
Thank you.
Buckley coming up for his 24th possession. Sends it back to Davis. Said it earlier in the game. Collingwood very happy to have the ball in Buckley's hands. He uses it so well. Gitter, here we go again. Not his best.
By foot.
Sidebottom. Drives it down towards half forward. Cloak. Giant strides at the footy. The only man who really backed himself in. That was imposing. Cloak from left half forward. Long towards full forward. Back goes Mackey. Takes the mark. He was assisted by Lonigan, using his body on Dawes and keeping him out of the contest. Selwood's got the football now. Precisely puts it across to Duncan. Duncan back towards Selwood and or a teammate there coming across on the angle. It was Johnson. Selwood runs on yet again. Wonderful by Selwood. Free kick is going to Stokes.
Thank you. Time back on.
So Stokes right on the 50. Centering ball. Varco claiming he was held, nothing doing. Davis didn't wait. Backed himself, peeled off, gives it to Pendlebury. Shakes free of the tackle. Wellingham's kick not good. Taylor, Kelly. Back come Geelong yet again, but they're losing these one-on-ones. Side bottom did brilliantly. Sliding in there, Christensen. On his knees to his feet. Brilliant stuff. Gives it across towards Wojcinski. Kicks it straight up in the air. Bartel and Buckley. Not sure either one of them touched it. It bounces through for a behind.
They're having trouble lowering their eyes going forward, Geelong, aren't they? When they're just sort of really just blasting it in. Not really looking for the guy in short.
The last Collingwood goal came from a really long kick through the middle for Collingwood. So will they bring it back through the guts again?
It's downfield, it's a high tackle. On the full quickly, Chappie. Undisciplined by Geelong because they had the numbers there. Just their decision-making is being really tested here, the Cats, with the ball in hand and also on the tackle. Bartel a moment ago had Cracker cold, couldn't put a legitimate tackle, and again there. So side bottom, Mackie. Just pleased he took that strong mark a moment ago, made up for one earlier in the match. Enright bangs it back. Johnson played it well, but then goes to ground. Thomas, next goal will tell a tale in this match. If Collingwood get it, you reckon they're home. Geelong need to get it, they're pressing. Side bottom, Mackie doesn't take it. Christensen, they've got all the numbers, Geelong. Mackie overruns it, and then Selwood gets his body behind the ball, and Shaw rides him into the ground.
Initially a great tackle from Shaw, but then just came over the top and was deemed to be in the back.
They'll look to get it to the other side of the field here. This is their problem. They might get the first one. They've got players out the other side if they can get out there.
Here's Taylor. Little chip pass, short. Ball did well. Stepped in front of the oncoming Kelly. Just seems right now Collingwood have got all the answers.
As you mentioned earlier, Dennis, they're just winning the contests in their back half.
Out, thank you, Jag.
Their game has been built on defence tonight. Pendlebury does the full 360 and then comes to the boundary, and the mark is taken by Wellingham. He fooled him. Wellingham at the interchange gates goes for distance then. Duncan stays out of the contest. Going back is Harry Taylor. So Taylor on the defensive 50. And they will gather from the back again. They'll try the other side this time. Scarlett needs to kick it to Bartel. Well, he goes short. Mackie's got it. Bartel is on, though. Any way will do. Bounces it out to Bartel. Needs it to stay in, Bartel. Just kept it in, but then the cavalry arrive for Collingwood. Dick, tackled by Bartel. Goldsack gets away, looking like Elliot Gould. He kicks it down towards full forward. From behind, it's punched away by Taylor. In front, Didak. Unkind bounce. Hitting the pack hard, Mackie. Taken down by Didak. Taken away by Chapman. Chapman gets it across to Selwood. Selwood to Bartel. Bartel thinks about going. Lays the ball over the top to Joel Corey.
Great call, Dennis. Corey to Johnson. Under pressure, back to Corey. Back to Bartel. Bartel off a step. Gets a lot of distance with a spiral. Bouncing ball. Reed, Collingwood with all the numbers. And then Shaw. Now this is a big one-on-one. Swan's normally pretty good. Well played, Menzel. He's had a win there. And then goes with a long one to full forward. Great mark. Selwood. Menzel plays on goal. Cats are still in it. What a play by Menzel.
Yes, I think when you see Dane Swan in a one-on-one contest with any player, Menzel had the front position, but G played it strong.
God, Selwood was good too.
Kevin Sheedy in the 1974 grand final for those with long memories.
Just have a look at this contest here. Every now and again in a young career, there's a moment which you arrive, and that's a fantastic one-on-one win. He'll remember that and build a lot of confidence. And then let's not underestimate the mark here, contested mark by Joel Selwood.
Well, Menzel, his footy hero was Mark Rasciuto. Rue would have been proud of that one. Ball comes out wide to Corey. Joel Corey's away. Searching kick inside the forward 50. Potty Adley He's taken the mark. 25 metres out, 45-degree angle. But if my memory serves me correctly, he was about here when he got the ball to go at right angles, about 5 metres wide of the behind post to his right-hand side.
Just watch the work off the ball here by Brad Ottens, it is.
Yeah, just
keeping
down.
Keeping Reid off the play.
Most players or most teams can be more accurate later in games because they've worked out what's going on with the wind. Let's see if he has.
Margin 4 points, the closest they've been since the 15-minute mark of the second quarter. Make that 3 points. Well, coming up for a big finish now. It's like being on Deal or No Deal, and we're down to 2 suitcases.
He's had some shots, Pods. He's had 3 shots, no goal.
Pressing up here, Geelong. They're just going to cover the centre corridor, make sure Collingwood can't get out easily like they did with Goldsack that from before.
So Davis will try and get it as far as possible. Brings it back in. Hawkins worked underneath by Wood. Kelly running hard, kicking long to full forward, and belted through by Reid. They're getting more distance, you feel, to the left than they were earlier tonight.
Yeah, maybe the wind's fade a little bit, but as I say, players, you get to know the wind during the game.
Lee,
and
think back to
react to it much
Chapman's
better.
kick early in this quarter. That wouldn't have gone all that way in the first term.
Buckley entrusted with bringing it back in.
Straight to Bartel.
Bartel juggles the mark, 60 metres out from goal. Geelong are pressing again. Just chips it over the top. Man in space. Wojcinski couldn't hang on. Well done by Ball. Well done by Chapman. Threw himself across the boot. Ball head down. Taking in front on is Corey. Still in there is Ball. Corey goes hard at him. Chapman tries to burrow out. Well done, Cracker. Throws it on the boot. Sends it to the outer side. Reaching over the top was Taylor. 2-on-1. And 2 very good players for Geelong. Scarlett emerges with it. Back inside the 50. And Bartel, a little theatrical after the mark, will line up at goal from 40 metres out. We've said it many times tonight. This is not easy.
Great technique from Jim Bartel. You just watch him with the ball. He grabs it early, makes sure he's clunked it. You just see here, and then pulls the ball down very quickly straight away. So the ball can't be chopped out of his arms.
It's been a tough spot, but I don't think there's any other player in this long side at least should want it in his hands.
Haven't got time to track down the origins of Clunkett. In comes Bartel. He's got the goal. The Cats are in front, but they haven't got the cream quite yet.
Can you mark my race card tomorrow, Lee? You said Cloak earlier. You said you're 3 for 3.
Now, Bartel, I reckon, is one of the best set shots at goals I've seen. He just is really controlled, kicks the ball long, kicks the ball powerfully. He didn't get the ball in the air. He kicked it fairly low and flat to try and make sure the wind didn't affect it as much as it would if it was up goalpost high.
It's the reaction here from Jim Bartel after kicking that goal. He's one of those players that does a lot of aspects of the game exceptionally well. He's about 6'1" in the old, can take a contested mark, go back and kick a crunch goal and wins his own football.
Not normally that demonstrative, is he? So Geelong haven't been in front since the 12-minute mark of the second quarter until now. But Collingwood win the important clearance. Pendlebury forward. Hunt is a left footer. Well played. Mackie running hard. Dick to run him down. Mackie very wide. Free kick Bartel. The free kick.
He's had control of Barco in the contest pretty much, Davis, but in the contest, Bartel's very, very different. Very good one-on-one player.
Both Corey and Bartel have had big last quarters for Geelong. Kicks the ball to about 40. Podsy out. Scream at the back. Menzel couldn't hang on. Buckley's handball. Thomas under pressure. You feel like this is Geelong's chance here. They are on top. If they can get the next goal, look at Menzel.
He's not shy, is he?
He's not shy.
No, having a crack at it. There's no holding back now. If you've got a chance to jump in that forward 50.
He is something, is Menzel.
Yep. 10th game, 13 career goals already, and a big one in this term. Kelly looking for a free kick, tossed the head back. He wasn't taken high. Strong tackle by Heath Shaw.
Apart from the numbers in close, the positioning of players, that three-quarter kick from this stoppages is so important. It could go anywhere, quick kick.
So often games don't live up to the hype. They fizz out, but this has been terrific. Difficult conditions, not pretty, as I said, at three-quarter time, but Players of both sides just giving everything. They want top spot. What about tomorrow? It's about tonight. Over the top, Wood knocks it out of bounds. Did it go out on the full?
Free kick.
Yes, it did. Free kick to the Cats. Corey to take it. Crowd a little confused. They think it was deliberate. It just went out on the full. Joel Corey played a solid 4 quarters. His centering kick in from the side again. Bartel, did he touch the ball? I'm not sure he did. Jimmy's trying to sell it. Podsy Adley took the mark.
No, I don't think it was
got it
either
at the
of
second
them.
attempt.
It was Podsy Adley.
Well, Jimmy sort of up the pack. Watch this. There's Bartel from the right. But his hands
close
did
enough.
not
He was the
touch
front
the
hands.
footy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Normally the guy that comes down with it when there's a lot of hands up for the footy will get paid. Well, he's had a few shots from this part of the ground. Has to nail one soon.
2 coaches. About 650 games of coaching experience between them. Podsy Adley gets one for Chris Scott.
He needs a big game at the MCG. He hasn't had a big game, but he's actually having an influence, isn't he, now? I feel like he's becoming an important target.
Certainly done a lot of the basics well. He's presented. He's taken a very strong mark on the wing, and that was the icing on the cake. Shows some really good nerve to go back and after kicking, I think it was 4 behinds. A couple of behinds, 2 behinds.
One out of bounds on the
one out of bounds on the full, and then go back and kick the crush goal.
Well, this reaction says it all.
Well, it says he'd had a couple of 3 shots at goal from that part of the ground. He's finally nailed one when it really counts late.
8 minutes ago, Collingwood led by 10 points. Now the Cats lead by that margin. Thomas wide to Shaw. Shaw's kick and marked by Dick.
Oh yeah, Matty's good.
Fantastic chase and pressure by Corey. That really affected the kick from Shaw, but Dick just had the awareness, or the ball fell in his arms, whichever.
Well, we saw the sub for Geelong kick a goal from about this very same spot just before 3/4 time. It was an important one. Talk about big kicks right now. And he's missed. So some irony in all of this, because it was Geelong that was missing early, weren't they? And that one was a real chance. So the Cats by a kick and a half. Plenty of time left, but goals have been hard to get tonight.
So Maggie to bring it in. And regardless of what happens,
Oh, that's a brave
of this
kick.
game, the balls, Kelly's taken the mark. There is a legitimate challenger now to Collingwood. It's not a one-horse race. Otten's over the top, knocks it down. Taylor moved off the football, came back to him, tries to break a tackle, sends a hand pass to Duncan. Duncan slips it along the boundary, taken by Hunt, goes to Varco. Duncan sold into trouble, gets boot the ball. Reid missed it, runs free at the back, arriving quickly. Stokes bounces off a would-be tackler, taken by Kelly, stolen away there by Goldsack, gave it across towards support Tarrant. Didak to half forward, drifting back. Harry Taylor, the better of the 2 Harrys tonight. Sends it across the ground. Blair marks, 53 metres out. Has a man outside, goes to Dick. Dick runs inside the 50. Can't pick it up though. Runs outside the 50 and lays it off. Here's Shaw.
Shaw looks and steady to the pocket. No mark. It was Cracker down low. Taylor with him.
Thank you.
Gee, Harry just
It was a brave kick, but he went for the hard one. He actually had one to the left of screen that would have been easy, would have gone 1-2 to Corey, but that was a tough option that he didn't make it.
It was a more attacking kick of the 2, wasn't it?
Well, but it was a long kick to the open field, and that was a really dangerous kick, and they were lucky to survive that turnover.
So Collingwood a kick and a half behind here. 1 defeat in their last 22 matches, Collingwood. Ball, well done ball, kicks right to the goal line. And Dawsey's been well held tonight. Again, you've got to give Lonergan a lot of credit tonight.
Geelong defenders have been really good, as the Collingwood. That hasn't been a night for big forwards. Neither big forwards from either side has been really much of an influence on the game.
So Collingwood's peppering away here. Again, a dangerous kick. Taylor brings it down. Well done, Thomas. Didak can't quite. Dawes with a chance. Back to Daisy. And Thomas brings them back within a kick.
I think we saw Chris Scott in the coach's box. They got away with one of those little short kick-ins up to the 45, the previous one. But when you're in front, goal and a half in front late in the game, going up a short kick in to that 45-degree angle out from goal is probably the low percentage kick to make. And the second one got turned over. Taylor's always a good target for that kind of kick, but that created the goal. Let's have a look at this. This is a high-risk kick. Taylor's a good option. As soon as it's intercepted, the Geelong defence is under real pressure.
Crucial centre clear here. We saw at the start of the game how important to get it out of the guts is. No better time than now.
Pendlebury straight up in the air. Joel Corey thought he had it. Left it behind. Pendlebury over the top of Selwood. Back comes Corey. Woods got him.
Well battled.
From the front. Ball had him from the back.
Well, centre bounce mark too. There's just more players in the centre of the ground.
Just over 4 minutes remaining. Geelong by 2 points. Bruce. I've got that feeling again. Oh! Free kick to Shaw.
It's clumsy.
No doubting that. Christensen coming in high and late. Davis drives it down towards left half forward, going back with the flight of it, missing the football side bottom. Dawes a dirty night. Appeared to go out, did it? Thought it did. Boundary throw in. Don't need this sort of game really on fan appreciation night for the umpires. Set them back 50 years. Out of the congestion, Wellingham spills across the ball. He was slung back to Wellingham. Same result. Now it comes to Davis off the outside of the boot. Cloak settles in front, almost the mark, tantalisingly close, falls to Blair, knocked out of there by Stokes. In goes Taylor. Stokes has got the football, loose at the back. Taylor tries to dig it out. Christensen, he couldn't control it. Joel Corey, despairing runs, gritted his teeth, got it across to Barco. Barco breaks through midfield. Saul Chapman into trouble. Goldsack got him, and a ball up.
First running bounce of the night there by Travis Barker. Unbelievable work in the contest there by Joel Corey.
How many players touched the footy till it eventually got clear from that half back? But at least he tried to run and carry it. Barco, maybe the hand pass was too pressured.
Cats just forward of centre. Swans kick wide. Every contest now critical. Side bottom. Still side bottom, trying to get some meterage. Dawes and Lonergan. Oh, gee.
Hands in the back.
So Dawes, there's a long kick, Dawes. Pumps it in, and that one just eluding both the boundary line and Cloak. And Collingwood get it within 50 metres of goal.
Not a bad result. You see the crowd there, 81,000.
Seventh time Geelong have been in a home and away crowd of over 80. The 42nd time for Collingwood.
Every week for them.
Stop, back. Nah, you grabbed him. Nah, you grabbed him. Just here. No, because I paid it and then the play stopped and then it went. Just here. Just here.
So just clumsy options, wasn't he?
Clear it out.
Just a tired, sort of two strong bodies. In some ways, the weak body lost the height, and that created the high tackle. He's a good kick of the football, Cameron Wood. This is a long, pressured shot, but he is a good kick of the footy.
Well, he struggled to make a mark at Collingwood. This would help. Probably the biggest kick in his career. It's pretty good. It's very, very good. It hasn't quite got there. Thomas, still Thomas. Ball comes out. Well played, Ottens. He tidied it up. Selwood says to Duncan, hang on to it.
The Magpies a bit stiff there. The play stop. Pendlebury just seemed to take it in the one action and move off. Well, Duncan's got the football.
Oh, it's long, fairly central.
Tarrant tried to mark it, falls behind as a result. Close to the boundary line, taken across by Stokes in front of Davis. Clock stops at 1:51. 64 plays 62. Gee, we've seen some wonderful finishes this season.
Need to roll the dice here, Collingwood. Get on the move off this stoppage.
If Geelong can just control the footy, they could win from here. Corey over his shoulder, taken by Barco, inside the forward 50. Chapman leads in the race. Swan is gathering him up. Swan and Chapman. Oh, wonderful by Reid. Threw himself across the boot. Barco! Oh! He defied geometry there.
Got no idea why he tried that. Why wouldn't you try and pick it up? But nevertheless,
Wow.
he tried it.
If you were going to do something stupid, that was the stupid thing to do.
Corey and right, quickly.
This is where the whole possession goes. You only got a minute over a minute to go. Collingwood just have to get out of their back 50 now and make sure there's no free Geelong players. And they've done that pretty well. Very disciplined the way they've quickly got back upfield. This will be long down the line.
So the margin 3 points. The only defeat Collingwood's had in the last 22 matches was 3 points to Hawthorn here last year in round 22. So Geelong milking the clock. So the season not quite turned on its head if Geelong win, but boy, we do have two very, very even and great teams. The kick touch, half forward. The Cats, Podsiadly, a real chance. Johnson's kick in forward, and Harry's got it.
Now you can hold on to it for 30 seconds because this is a shot for goal.
That should see them out.
It will as long. I think the runner probably is telling. They never know the exact seconds, but I'm sure the runner is telling Taylor it's really late in the game. Hold on to the footy until the umpire makes you kick it.
Well done, Chris Scott. He's beaten a legend tonight. It was worth the wait. Geelong win. They remain undefeated. And Collingwood know they've got a rival. 3 points the margin. Game. Geelong by 3 points over Collingwood in Joel Selwood's 100th match, and can you believe it? It's his 85th win. He's won 85 out of the 100. It's remarkable. Down to you, Tim.
Well, Joel, what a way to celebrate the 100th game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, what a way. It's the boys just never give in. It's happened a couple of times to us this year, and we never think we're going to lose. We're playing some good footy and got the job done.
Tell us about the pressure out here tonight.
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, it was just one of those games. It's sort of like finals footy, but yeah, as I said, got the job done.
You're a hard nut to crack, though, Collingwood, aren't they?
They are. We couldn't break them. I mean, we had it in there for plenty of the first half and just couldn't get the score on the board. So they're a very good team.
And for a great part of that game, you had a great contest too with Daisy Thomas.
Yeah, every now and then I matched up on Daisy. He's a very handy player, so got away from me a bit there and then.
Well done.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Well, what a career for him. And Chris Scott, 7-0. Geelong, the first team ever to have 3 seasons in the last 4 where they've started 7-0.
Unbelievable. They've just been such a good side. Tonight was just a grafting win. I mean, eventually they've got 8 goals, 17. I mean, they're inaccurate, but they just grafted it. It wasn't a play on, link up, carry the footy type of game. It was a forward footy, win the contest, kick it forward. I mean, they've ended up winning the stoppages 35-27. You do that against Collingwood, you deserve to win.
Down to you, Tim.
I've actually got Karen Ling with me. Just quickly, didn't want to do an interview, but Lingy, how's your shoulder?
Yeah, it's all pretty good. It's a little bit sore, but yeah, no, it'll be fine, mate. It's always good when you win.
That was a terrific win.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, really hard fought. Obviously, things didn't quite go to plan. We missed a few shots we should have kicked, and they're a quality side. So, just really pleasing that we could get over the line. I think it shows both teams are pretty good teams, and I suppose it's going to be a good year.
Well, good luck with the injury this week.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Good stuff. Magnificent contest here. It wasn't pretty, but it had everything else. And in the end, the Cats, with all the scoring shots, won 8-17-65 over Collingwood, 9 goals, 8-62.
This has been a Fox Sports presentation.